Hey guys, welcome back to Geekborn. You clicked on the video, you know what we're talking about today, so let's roll that new intro. Alright, so today we are talking about the brainchild of this man, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who, you know, has created Hamilton, the hip-hop play, a musical about, of course, one of America's founding fathers. What else would you create a hip-hop musical play about? I couldn't think of one thing off the top of my head that would fit the criteria of a hip-hop musical more than the life story of Alexander Hamilton. And I mean, honestly, if you go through and you look at his life, I mean, the criteria is actually there for, all of his whores or hoes and the duel that happened, towards the end of his life. If you've seen the play or, history, he met an untimely end, capping people. Well, he actually tried to surrender but got capped. So, this play, honestly, I think was amazing. With the very little amount of sets, I mean, everybody knows how good this thing is. It's won several awards, including the Pulitzer Prize for Drama, and it's been all over the world. People have seen this play. It's been on Broadway for years, and it's just such a good, compelling story, such a way to tell the story in a modern way that a lot of people wouldn't imagine. I mean, when you think of a founding father, you think of the pictures that you're going to see on, your money whenever you're handing it out. Not maybe as much anymore since nobody carries cash. But you think of these statues and think of oil paintings whenever you think of these historical figures and the pictures you see in textbooks, and you never think of them in such a way that was portrayed in this musical, and it's so good, in my opinion, just to take the time to put together a story with so many characters throughout history that are all there, and the lyricism that you have to put into this project to make it work. I mean, I looked into it, and Lin-Manuel Miranda spent a year on one song and a year on another. He spent several years on this project over a period of time, showing it to people along the way, as I've heard. And it's just the fact that this project became such a big deal over such a period of time and over such a short period of time. It just instantly became a hit on Broadway, and I mean the filming for the Disney Plus that we got to see it on, from the stage to the small screen, you get to see differences too with the fact that it was captured on film. You get to see some close-ups that you wouldn't necessarily get to see being, sitting back there. You wouldn't get to see how some of the makeup works, or even some of the more hilarious scenes when eventually you get to see Jonathan Groff, who plays King George III, who's freaking hilarious, steals the show every time he comes out on stage. But you go through, and when he comes out, and he absolutely just spits, and on Disney Plus, it's HD, like real definition. You're watching this guy just spit in the dribble just as he's going on with this performance. It's amazing and hilarious at the same time, obviously, because they're trying to be hilarious with this over-the-top portrayal of King George, especially here in America. Because, we're America, and America. That's why this came out on July 3rd for the July 4th weekend, so everybody can be like, yeah, America, we do some great stuff every once in a while. But it's the way that everything's put together, and I've been giving I give a lot of praise to Lin-Manuel Miranda for putting this whole thing together, and putting the lyrics together in the songs of such a whole, like, thought out musical, to the thought that almost everything is said or sang, or nothing is really said but sang or rapped, or sang in some kind of R&B way, or even there is Broadway musical, like original Broadway musical style music in this, along with everything else. And it's just amazing to see all of these pieces come together to create something that's very unique. I've seen that a lot of people are like, some people are, it's hard for them to get into it at first, and they're like, well, this is, it's interesting, but how long can they keep it up? And it's just, as they continue and continue and continue, like, it just doesn't stop. Like, this is a 2 hour and 40 minute, like, sit through, but I watched it on the third, and I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to watch it again. I haven't actually sat down to watch it a second time. I am going to, probably very soon after I'm done with this. Maybe, I've been listening to the soundtrack. I put it on my Spotify. I've been listening to that while I've been taking notes and working on videos and doing that. The music itself is just compelling to listen to. There's so much going on. I mean, he put so much effort into every single word and every line and sentence, that it really comes together, and it's best to be seen as a whole, to be able to see it for yourself, to see the actors, especially the original cast from Broadway, on screen, singing the songs that a lot of you have probably been listening to for, maybe even years, at this point. It's amazing. I mean, my first introduction to this is I listened to some of the songs. I've had people play me some clips. I had a friend that let me borrow the Hamilton mixtape, so I listened to some of that and got like a slight introduction to some of it. I'm a big fan of Weird Al, and Weird Al did the Hamilton polka, where he took like 15 songs and put them into a big ensemble, which is just is simply just a work of art and a masterpiece in its own right for him. Just to have so many songs, and you piece almost the whole musical together in just this polka that Weird Al created, and it's only like a 5-minute period of time. So you cram almost 3 hours into 5 minutes. Simply ridiculous. But I think I've done enough. I've talked enough praise. There's just so much story going on here. There's so many good characters, compelling characters, and the way that the story is told is just completely different to pretty much any story you probably heard or listened to previously. So I would really recommend that you go get Disney Plus if you don't have it, or get on your Disney Plus. Take 2.5 hours, 2 hours 45 minutes, whatever, almost 3 hours, and sit down. You're not doing much right now anyway. Most places you're just sitting around, sitting in bed. You're eating snacks. So watch Hamilton. I do recommend maybe some subtitles, because sometimes it can be hard to keep up with what's going on, what everybody is saying, because it gets pretty intense and pretty complex at times. So I would go through, do that, put those on, put on a like on this video, give me a comment, tell me what you thought about the Hamilton musical. If you've listened to it, let me know if you've seen it live. I would love to see this thing live. It would be absolutely amazing. It'd be so much better than seeing it on the TV screen, honestly. But it's great either way. Thank you for tuning in. Give me a subscribe. We'll be back with more geeky videos later. I appreciate it. Some of us are just boring geeky, and have a good one.